South Dallas. I remember being in Wynwood and everything. Like that's what I remember. Now, if you ask me honestly, right now, when I became a man, it was in Houston.
I don't know if I'm new to you, right?
Yeah.
But I want to hear. I want to get all your backstory. Where are you originally from?
So I grew up in the Cliff and I grew up in DeSoto.
Mm.
So back and forth, marriages and my family and everything, my mom would go back and forth. One time I'm living behind Kimball. Another time I'm living by Redbird Mall in the apartments. Like, so it's back and forth. And then, I graduated from DeSoto High School though.
Oh, okay.
So doing track and field, I was top 5 in the nation.
Word.
Yeah, I did long jump and triple jump. Yes, sir.
Okay. I was gonna ask, was you an athlete back in the day?
For sure, for sure. My
Yeah.
pops played in the 80s too. He played for the Cowboys in the 80s.
What's your dad name?
His name Mike Ravel.
Really?
Mike Ravel. He played in the 80s, graduated from Bethune-Cookman. Don't get me lying. I think it was like 7th round. 7th round pick, but he was a skill position. So, like, athletics runs in my family. You know what I mean? My sister was dominant. She was top 5. She was number 2 in the nation when she was in high school. So, it's like my whole family just athletes.
Really?
Yes,
And she was in track, or what she was doing?
Yeah, she ran track at Texas Tech. So
Word.
she was lethal, man. Like she was a dog. So that would push me. I'm like, man, I gotta get out there. They talking about my sister. Let me do something. Like, you know
She
what I mean?
your older sister, or you?
Nah, so I got 6. It's 6 of us.
Damn.
6 siblings. It's 3 girls, 3 boys. She the baby sister of them all. But yeah, man, that was the one I grew up with though. So we got different
okay.
moms.
Yeah.
Same dad. Yeah.
Okay. What was that like growing up with 6 brothers and sisters? I know you and your baby sister, y'all grew up in the same house, you said?
Yeah.
What was that like? How were you as a kid, man? What kind of kid was you?
Man, getting into it.
Yeah.
Getting into some trouble all the time, bothering my sisters, fighting them, my brothers and everything. Like, man, I don't know why when I was young, I was such a fighter. I don't know why, but I grew out of it and I'm like, okay, I understand it now. It's brotherly love or whatever. But yeah, my dynamic as far as it goes with the siblings is more so I was the little bro. So I got my big brother, I got my little brothers, and I'm the middle brother.
Okay.
So my sister that I grew up with directly, we the ones that seen like what we seen in our circle. Like they may have a different story. It could be worse, it could be better, but like me and my sister, we know like, hey, we remember this. We remember going through this with mama by herself. My mama working 2 jobs, dropped out of college. She didn't even go to college. She dropped out of high school and she went to working. And so it was like from there, we knew like what tenacity was from my mom. Just looking at her like, okay, this is what it means to get it done by any means. So we've been following suit, but that's how it was from my dynamic of growing up, is like watching and observing.
Yeah. And I know like most people, at least music artists, rappers, they be like, I come from the hood. DeSoto is kind of like a middle class.
For sure.
Yeah, middle class area. So moms was obviously doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like that narrative, even like when my pops playing football and everything, right? Like my parents divorced when I was 2 years old. So it wasn't like I experienced that lifestyle, you know what I mean? And the funny thing about it is too, is like a lot of people from DeSoto is from the Cliff. They people still in the Cliff. You know what I mean? It's the better half of people saying like we finna leave and do better. You know what I mean? The same with people in Cedar Hill or Lancaster. Like a lot of they people still rooted in the Cliff. And so like in my younger days, that was what I knew. I remember going to South Dallas. I remember being in Wynwood and everything. Like that's what I remember. Now, if you ask me honestly right now, when I became a man, it was in Houston. Like different type of struggle. Me independently as a man having to struggle, driving Uber, playing my music for everybody that walked in the car. Like I'm like, shoot, I got something. I just play it. You know what I mean? Like it was a different struggle for me as an adult. Way more than when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Way more as a kid.
Because you was just following moms, or moms was taking care of you, or it was just the atmosphere.
Just trying to figure it out. Like I ain't have no, pops wasn't in the house. So, like I done been choked out by my stepdaddy before. I done been like, it's a lot of situations that's happened to me as a child to develop this mindset of like I gotta get it. Like I ain't gonna let nobody, you know what I mean? And I share that with you too, because it's like, man, I don't give the persona of I'm just the hoodest of the hoodest of everything. You see me flashing, you know, I got my own little swag, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but I'm giving people a different narrative of Dallas. And for me, it's always been the guy that was left behind. I was the child left behind. So when my friends, whether I was in DeSoto or the Cliff, my friends, when they went to go do stuff, certain stuff they left me behind with. They're like, oh, now you on a scholarship. We can't take you with us. Or my uncles is like, oh, nah, nephew, we ain't gonna do this around you. We ain't gonna show you that. Or whatever it is. Like, it's like, so I'm there, but a lot of it I'm they trying to shelter me from it, but I'm seeing it still. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the times I experienced it. I had to go through it. But, God good.
Yeah, heck yeah. So
Yeah.
what took you to Houston what made you leave Dallas and go to Houston?
Yeah, so like I said, I ran track.
Okay.
When I ran track, I was, like I said, top 5 in the nation. I ended up going to college for a whole different perspective. I ain't even gonna tell you that. That's too much. But let's just say when I got there, they were like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Man, I'm here." But ended up going to the college. I didn't even take a trip there. Like it was at the time I was committed to Texas Tech, and I was like, all right, I'm talking to Texas Tech, then I'm talking to UT, and I'm talking to LSU. I'm talking to all these schools on the phone, and I'm like, all right, where I'm gonna go? Then the situation that I had dictated where I went, which was Sam Houston. And so me being at Sam Houston, first day on campus, I walk into orientation, run into Lil Zach the DJ. And here we are full circle today. He my manager. So God knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
He knew what he was
crazy.
doing. Yeah.
Was you rapping at that time, or were you
Been
just
rapping.
really?
Even like people, they be like, man, he rap, but he sing. And I'm like, but it's certain people that know me from rapping. Cause I was the dude that was rapping at the back of the bus, at the lunch tables, the pep rallies. Then when I got to college, I tried to like learn my sound a little bit differently, and I started going into singing. Now it's going back to my roots, rapping, poetry. That's what I really started off doing when I got into music. So
Okay, who introduced you to it? Or you just had this natural gift that you just started rapping like at the house, or how did you even get started into it?
I mean, rapping really came from, I credit this guy named Black Ice. He's a poet. Back in the day, I used to watch. I'd be in the living room just watching all his stuff, and I'm like, man, like I wonder if I know how to do that. Like, how can I do it? So I would start to journal and try to come up with some stuff so I can be just like Black Ice. And then eventually the sound just cultivated from my mama jamming India Irie or Mary Mary, whoever it is, like with a southern sound, Anthony Hamilton, like those sounds were like triggers to me, like this I relate to. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what like had me like, man, I really want to do this. I want to sound like that. I want to perfect my craft to where one day I can hopefully be like them. So yeah, that's where it started from.